What is up, guys and girls? Hurricane Liz here, and in this video we finally come full circle with our actual KDP marketing funnel. Now, for those of you that have not joined us in the previous couple videos, all we're basically doing is creating a funnel so we can collect customer information outside of Amazon and then have a list to launch to sell our books to, and to be able to grab that bestseller badge every single time. And now this is nothing brand new, as we've seen in the past videos that we grabbed this directly from one of the top booksellers online in all of Amazon, which is Jade Summer. So if you haven't seen those videos, I highly recommend you watch them. But with that being said, we're going to jump into the best and sexiest part of all, which is how do we get them to actually click through our offer and then give us their information. We're going to cover that in a heck of a lot more in this video. So let's go ahead and do this. Right, so we're at the best and most important part, which is how do we capture that customer attention? How do we capture that customer information? We've seen a couple of physical book copies, and we've seen ways that they've actually managed to do it. One being this Mandala Coloring Guide, which is one of the top adult coloring books on Amazon for a very long time. Now, while I don't agree with what they actually did, let's talk about what was bad about it. They do have a QR code and a website. And there's a couple things wrong with it. First things first, the actual offer is at the very back of the book, which, I mean, who actually makes it to the back of the book ever? So that's not a good placement for it. I would have actually put this at the front of the book, gotten them excited for the offer. The second thing wrong with this is they have a fudged up website. It's like free monthly coloring pages.pagedemo.co.yourmother.blablabla.com. Yeah, I did throw in a your mother joke in there. I'm sorry, I didn't mean any offense. But my whole point is, who in the hell's going to go to a website with like 150,000 characters before the .com? I certainly know I wouldn't, so I don't think you guys would. And then the last thing that I really hate about their offer is they offer you free coloring pages every single month. What are the odds that they actually keep up with that? That's like having to create a whole freaking book each and every single month of different actual coloring pages. That's why I prefer Jade Summer's offer, which I will show you here in a second. Now, the second one, and the second way that you can do this, is just straight up giving a URL. And not even this best-selling fucking adorable cute critters with foul mouths, which is very similar to my foul mouth, was able to keep up with just collecting customer information, which again goes to show that it is a job. However, it will guarantee the sale of your business in the long run for a heftier sum than you not having any customer information in your actual database. So let's go ahead and look at that Jade Summer offer again and talk about which route we're going to take. And again, there's two routes, and I'll explain them here again shortly. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into my ConvertKit, which, as I mentioned before, it's my favorite autoresponder. I personally use it in my business. As you can see, all the actual emails that I've collected here with it. So I do highly recommend it, and my affiliate link is below in the description. And just remember, I do get a small affiliate commission when you do actually sign up for ConvertKit. But again, I practice what I preach, and I use it every single day in my actual business. So let's go ahead and go into the landing pages and forms, and you can clearly see that I have something called a KDP lander. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the three buttons and hit edit. Now, this is the actual lander that we've created in the past two videos, and it looks like this, which should look very familiar because I just pretty much ripped it from Jade Summer. This is the same lead magnet that they actually use, and while I'm not having this full blown out into my books, I would actually change up the picture as well as some of the actual words. I think that their offer is very sexy, it's very simple, and it's easy to keep up with, simply for the fact that they've taken a bunch of their actual coloring pages from each and every book and bundle them together and given everybody that signs up here a free lead magnet. So that's what I would do. I would only offer it once and once only. I wouldn't do this BS of having coloring pages every single month, because the odds of you keeping up with that are slim to none. All right, so this is our page. Let's talk about how we're going to actually get the customer's information. And as I said, there's two actual ways. Number one, a QR code, or number two, a website. So which one would I use? Well, for me, I think it's very easy. I would probably go with both. Now, I would actually manage to do all the extra work in ConvertKit to actually put my website into here, because let me kind of show you guys what my current ConvertKit website looks like. It's upbeat-mover995.ck.page, .bs7902 or 5 or 6 or 1 or. I just made that up, but you can see that it's a long URL. I don't want to have to give that to people. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow the instructions on ConvertKit of how to actually put my own URL in there. And I'm going to actually buy one from Namecheap, whatever it is. Like, let's say I have a brand called, in this case, heatherland.com, right? So I would set it up so that heatherland.com/leads or /free pops up, and then it goes directly to this actual page, right? That's what I would have as option one. It would 100% be on the first page, just like Heatherland has it right here. under happy coloring. But the second thing that I would have right side by side is the actual QR code, which looks like this. And the reason that I would have that QR code is, let's face it, most people are lazy and they're not going to want to type heatherland.com. Instead, they've got their mobile phones open constantly. The mobile phone is attached to some people at the hip and they cannot go anywhere without it. So they would preferably actually just scan this QR code and it automatically takes them to the actual free lead magnet. So that is the simplest and easiest way to get people's attention, particularly, like I said, that phone is attached at their hip. So how do we do that and how do we get it in our book? Well, it's pretty simple. I'm going to share with you here a site called QR. And again, this is crazy for a site like this to have this actual URL. This is the same shit that I'm talking about that we see in this book. Nobody's going to want to go to sites like that. So the simple fact that I'm giving you this site, I can tell you what the URL is, but I'm going to need to spell it out below. And it would even be easier if I actually give you a QR code to their own site, because their actual URL is just the longest freaking URL I've ever heard. It is qr-code-generator.com. That's where you'll go. And when you go there, you're going to get this actual interface. All right, so let's talk about this interface right here. We've got a couple options here. We can direct people with a URL, a vCard, a text, Facebook, Twitter, Bitcoin, PDF, all sorts of options we've got here, even an image. But the simple thing that we're going to use is a URL. So all we got to do is click on URL, and then it's going to ask us enter your website. So you'll remember, if I go back to the KDP lander, if you go back to your lander, all you'll have to hit is the share button and then just click to copy that URL, and then you'll come on over here and you'll enter the website. Now remember, I have not gotten a fancy URL, which I should. That should be my first step. Get the fancy URL, get it set up with ConvertKit. There are very specific instructions on how to do this on ConvertKit. Like I said, I usually get my tech guy to do it. If you can't figure it out, you can also get a Fiverr to do it, which will probably run you $5 to $10. Once you get that set up, come over here to QR code generator, paste that into there just like I did, and boom, your QR thing is ready. So let me do that again so I can show you how easy it was. I'm going to put my website right here, and then it's going to go in and spin there and then give the little check mark. And this is my actual QR code. So that QR code can go in a file. I can download the JPG. And the one thing that you will have to do, you will have to sign up for QR code free for 14 days. So if you've got dozens of books that you're going to implement this on, make sure you got all those books ready to go. Get the free URL thing, use it that one time, see how well it works, and then decide if you want to sign up or not. I kind of really don't know what the actual costs are here. This is readily used for FBA. I've got a lot of friends who actually use this on their physical products, and they put this on their packaging or on an insert in the packaging, and it works really well. Now, the other fantastic thing about it is when you do sign up for the 14-day free thing, you will also be able to download this in vector format, so it's print ready to go. And you can also choose a bunch of different options that show like Scan Me and things of that nature. Now, the final thing on this that makes it even sexier is with their pro version, and I don't actually know how much their free version costs, but it is free for 14 days, but they have a pro version of this. So the pro version can keep track of your scans, and it can grab all sorts of data and information about the people that are actually scanning your actual code. But I mean, like I said, I've never used the pro version. I wouldn't recommend that. The starter version is just perfect. It's $5 a month billed annually. So you get 2 dynamic QR codes and 10,000 scans. If you're going to be doing anything more than that, then you want to go into these most popular. But I would definitely just test it out, see how it works. And you know, if you can actually see, there is a chance that this actual QR code, just take a picture of it, like zoom in on it and take a picture of it, and then try to scan it with your phone. If it works out, then you can also just slap it on your book, and it should work enough, at least in the beginning, until you can scale up and actually use this full throttle feature to be able to track scans and all that good stuff. But other than that, it's a quick and simple, easy way to do. And like I said, there is a 14-day free trial. I'm not an affiliate for this in any way, shape, or form. I just know that it's useful and that a lot of FBA people use this on their actual products themselves. So let me know if all this makes sense to you. And now that we've actually gone full circle, you got everything from insertion of URL and QR code to your going to your lander, and then finishing off with your actual leads coming into ConvertKit. Now, the only other thing that we have to cover is how do we actually contact these guys, and how do we set up an email sequence to hit them up at least once a week. And we will go over that in a future video. But for now, let me know what your questions and or comments are below. I always personally answer them, and I will see you all in the next video.